it's Andre, and it's time for another Friday Flying Update. That's right, 1,500 subscribers. 1,500 of you awesome, incredible people have said, yeah, I want to listen to what Andre has to say, which is mind-boggling because, you know, no one else around here listens to me. So this week has been pretty interesting and pretty fun. The Spitfire has come a long way and basically is ready to go flying. I even went as far as picking up some stacks, and I'll put the link in through Thingy Universe, designed by another user. And that is pretty cool. And there's also these little retaining clips. So the Spitfire has been an interesting experiment and an interesting learning session because, like all classic Spitfires, it has one predominant problem. It is super duper tail heavy. So I started fiddling around because I'm running a pretty light setup, just a small 2830 1000 kV motor, 9x6 prop, 35 amp ESC, and my trusty handy dandy Zippy Compacts 3S 2200 35C. So this is not an incredibly heavy setup. So I was, jamming all I could figure out what to put into this nose. I reconfigured where everything sat in there, moved the ESC forward, and I still wasn't nose heavy enough. There wasn't enough front weight to counteract the tail heavy. Changed all the hardware in the back, tried to lighten this, the control rods and a bunch of things. So I sat down, and thanks to Dan Sponhose for encouraging me to try Fusion 360, which is a 3D design software, I came up with this. That is my very first 3D printed design, and it's basically a battery holder tray that allows me to strap in some pieces in the bottom. And basically, it lets me function and have a little way of sliding the battery inside the plane and retaining it so it doesn't bounce around, because they spec like a big 6S. There's a big battery bay in this thing, and they want a lot of weight forward, which makes sense, but I don't know the aircraft well enough, so I'm gonna put basically all the equipment I use in my scratch build flight test kits and try that. So this is pretty cool, and I'm happy how it turned out. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Those holes don't line up, and it's a little ratty looking, but it does the job. About the only thing I would like to have changed is maybe taper off the front end so it slides a little in there, but for my first test, using the caliper and measuring out what I need and learning the software, not too bad. I'm pretty happy. It helped the CG, so very soon I hope to get this airplane going. Right now on the 3D printer, the ANET A8 is the PT17 Stearman model. So I'm printing off the radial motor right now, so that is pretty darn exciting. So once that comes along, I think it's going to go in the same color pattern as the Spitfire because I want to use up my current stock PLA, so it'll probably be the clear body, green and black accessories, and green wings, just because I have enough fabric, there's enough material on hand still to be able to print the plane properly and then just get it the colors I want. So like the motor will be black, the wheels will be black, and then the body and everything. So have a little bit of fun, experiment with the colors and see how it looks. It looks like a fantastic model. I fired it up into Simplified 3D and looked at all the designs. These guys did an amazing job, so I actually dropped the money right away and picked up the file this afternoon so I could start printing as soon as I got home. I'm rolling some video on it, so I will do a whole story on that. The ANET A8 is turning out to be a really fantastic purchase, and I'm really satisfied with it, and a lot of people are talking and asking questions about it, and I'm learning and getting better with it and everything. So it has been a wonderful, wonderful, do-it-yourself kind of tinkering project for me. So speaking of other things that I'm really impressed with, top marks have to go out for the Inductrix. This little thing continues to wow me. I've got to finish building up the nano conversion. I actually popped one of the cans, so I'm going to replace the motor and get that back up and flying, but I'm working on turning that into an Inductrix or ducted style chassis. So the difference being that the flight controller is turned on an angle on the little Inductrix, where in the Nano it sits straight, so it does occupy a little bit more real estate as far as the design goes. So we'll get there. James has been asking me, so we'll finish that project off. So there we go. If I get out flying, I'm hoping to take that bad boy out FPV flying, but right now the weather looks terrible. So that means I'll probably be able to sit around, do some scratch building this weekend. I've got those flight test stem kits and, Dan Sponholz designed a nice, really cool power pod setup for those aircraft, and I'm even contemplating doing some setup changes to the mini arrows. But I've got those 3 stem planes I'm looking to jump into, and I also want to get my hands in there and start finishing off the sweep wing projects. But if the weather doesn't work out, well, you know the bench is going to look at the bench. It's a disaster, but that means I've been busy and having a lot of fun with all this stuff. So 2017 is off to a smashing start. Again, thank you to all you brand new subscribers. I really appreciate all the support and the positive comments I do see every week. So have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Stay safe. Set my heart on fire.